But yeah, if you're going to be that big, that large of a hypocrite, you're going to get called out for it. Of course you are. And if Angel Reese hadn't have done that, if she hadn't have played that victim card, I wouldn't give a rat's ass that she's doing this. I'm still trying to figure out why the guy that created the Me Bounce thing on TikTok isn't suing her over the Me Bounce thing.
Angel Reese went from saying she didn't want to be objectified to walking the Victoria's Secret runway in front of millions. Fans are calling it the biggest pivot in women's basketball history. But here's the real question. Was this empowerment or a full-blown branding play that backfired?
But today, we're walking the one runway in our underwear.
I've been attacked so many times. Death threats,
Because what looked like a fashion stunt just cracked open a much deeper story about image, authenticity, and credibility in the WNBA. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Meanwhile,
Big mama, big mama, that big mama for real.
Even if it is Angel Reese, I wouldn't give a damn. And the reaction, and there's a lot of reaction, let me tell you.
Angel Reese once said she hated being objectified, then showed up modeling lingerie for one of the biggest brands in the world. Fans saw that and were like, what happened? Just months earlier, she spoke out about being sexualized, even saying, I've been attacked so many times. Death threats, I've been sexualized. That moment made people rally around her.
death threats, I've been threatened, I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. I've been through so much, I've seen so much, I've been attacked so many times. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I don't really get to stand up for myself.
She wasn't just another college star. She was seen as someone standing up against how women athletes get picked apart for their looks instead of their game. Then came the Victoria's Secret moment. Same player, completely different energy. On social media, her walk down the runway lit a fuse. One fan tweeted, "Didn't she cry about being sexualized?"
Walking the runway in her drawers. There she is, in her drawers. If I thought people would watch, I'd make videos on it, but there she is. There she is. She's losing her steam.
She looks lost out there. Another said, "She'll do anything for attention except work on her jump shot." The reactions weren't just critical, they were emotional. These weren't random haters. Many of them were the same supporters who once defended her the loudest. That's why the blowback hit so hard.
I mean, I had people sending me, dude, this is a TikTok thing. If Angel Reese or any other WNBA player wanted to do a Victoria Models photo shoot, walk the runway, make those extra dollars, I would not care. She literally just snatched that from a content creator. He ought to snatch it right back.
The bigger issue isn't just the outfit. It's the narrative shift. After LSU's championship, Reese built what some call a victimhood shield, a kind of moral credibility that made her untouchable. But when that image collided with a brand known for selling fantasy, the shield cracked. To fans, it looked like she traded vulnerability for visibility. And once people start questioning your authenticity, it's nearly impossible to control the story again. Experts say credibility for public figures depends less on perfection and more on consistency. When actions conflict with past words, it feels like a betrayal. We've seen athletes lose trust before when endorsements clash with their message.
But don't play the victim and then go out and literally do the thing. Don't you do it. There she is, striking a pose like this is Vogue or something.
With Reese, this move didn't read like empowerment. It looked strategic. And that's what made people skeptical. Because what seemed like a contradiction might actually be part of something much bigger forming behind the scenes. What if the Victoria's Secret stint wasn't a contradiction at all but a calculated rebrand? Think about it. Angel Reese has a pattern of turning controversy into attention, and this fits right into that playbook. Long before the runway, she was already stirring up headlines, whether it was through bold social posts or that messy me-bounds trademark story. That one came from a TikTok creator who claimed she took the slogan without credit, and when people called her out, she didn't really back down. Instead, the noise pushed her name even further up the trending lists. Every time something like this happens, the same reaction pops up. People start saying she's more focused on building hype than building her game. The narrative slowly shifted from dominant player to walking headline.
And I've largely quit doing Angel Reese videos because I'm going to be honest. People have gotten to the point for a lot of videos, they don't care what she's doing anymore.
Meanwhile, someone like Sophie Cunningham keeps her image clean. She posts what she wants, shows her personality, and still never gets dragged for it because she's been consistent from the start. Cunningham owns her femininity without acting like she's switching roles. And that contrast makes Reese's strategy stand out even more. This isn't just about one player. It points to a bigger issue inside the WNBA. The league still can't decide if it wants to sell its stars as athletes or influencers.
Isn't she a professional athlete? Why does she have cheese on her back? Woo! At least she shaved her mustache. That shit was getting out of hand. She looks like a character from the movie Ants.
Marketing dollars chase engagement more than stats, and players like Reese are right in the middle of that divide. The more viral she gets, the more that balance tilts toward image and away from performance. Fans are picking up on it. They feel misled, unsure who's real and who's acting for clicks. But that's what social media does. It rewards chaos and charisma more than consistency.
She doesn't have the self-awareness to understand. People trying to actually help her. What the hell happened to her eyes? She'll literally do anything but basketball. Hypocritical as hell. Yeah, you're going to get called out on it. You surely are. Caitlin Clark is their hero. Let's be honest. They're not gonna admit that. Oh, but Angel Reese.
And that means Reese's backlash says less about her and more about a league trying to figure out if authenticity can survive in a world built on algorithms. Authenticity is the new currency in sports. The second fans think it's gone, trust collapses. That's what we saw with Angel Reese. People didn't just question the outfit. They questioned if the person behind it was still real. When athletes cross that line between message and money, the fallout hits harder than any missed shot. So here's the question for you. Was that Victoria's Secret runway moment empowerment, strategy, or both? Drop your take below. Because if branding is part of the game now, is the WNBA ready for stars who compete just as hard off the court as on it?